Now what I want to show you is what the Xbox 360 is capable of. I could do the PS3, but the PS3 and the 360 they're close enough, close to similar performance levels. So what I'm going to show you here is something I found from Digital Foundry. This is the Left 4 Dead 2 demo. This is the same video game I had playing in part 1. So just to give you an idea, what we're looking at here is an analyst. It's sort of like a performance log of how the game runs on the Xbox 360. Try not to pay too much attention to the charts going along at the bottom of the screen there. What I want you to look at is in the top left-hand corner of the game itself. There's a number, and it's riding right at 30. That number is the number of frames per second the game is producing. Now, just so you know, most movies are shot at around 25, sometimes 30 frames per second. Usually right at around 25 frames per second. Now, what Xbox and PS3 try to do, they try to optimize the game as much as possible so that it will run on their lower cost hardware. So what they do is they optimize the game, they optimize the level to run at a solid 30 frames a second. And Xbox is doing a pretty good job. I think the lowest I've seen is a 26. The highest I've seen is about 32 so far. So that's certainly not bad. At least there's no unplayable moments that I can see just yet. But what the PC does that the Xbox does not do, the PC doesn't optimize at all. They usually just let the game load in its entirety. And when I say optimize, I mean if you look around the level in the Xbox, you see the walls in the boundaries, in the sort of the borders of the level. Behind those walls, the Xbox is not rendering objects behind that. You're not going to be able to, if you could magically fly up in the level and look over that wall, you wouldn't see things that you could interact with. You'll see some distance, buildings in the distance over there, but they're actually not being rendered. Usually they're just photographs. On the PC, it's rendered all the way through. All the way through the end of the level, you'll see things being rendered. So if you enable some cheats and fly through or fly over a wall, you'll be able to interact with zombies and other things like that on the other side of the wall. That's kind of the difference between the Xbox 360 and the PC.